Coming your way on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, Trey Lance getting rave reviews from Kyle Shanahan this offseason. And could the Niners part with one of their former third-round picks in Ambry Thomas? That's on the docket for today. But first, if you're subscribed, you're a real one, right? And that means that you're a member of the faithful family here at Chat Sports. So let's do a real one roll call. Give me a real one down below if you're subscribed to the show. And with that, let's kick today's show off. I'm Chase Sr., and this is the San Francisco 49ers Report. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, as always, thank you for choosing us as a part of your Niners coverage. Trey Lance getting a lot of rave reviews here this offseason from the team, some of his personal trainers, but most importantly, perhaps, head coach Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan spoke recently about what he's seen from Lance this offseason and some of the takeaways that he's seen from him. The former third pick from the 2021 draft heading into year 3. And he had a couple of interesting things to say. And throughout the show, we'll sprinkle in some quotes from Kyle Shanahan for what he said about Trey Lance, but also the competition between him and Brock Purdy for the team's starting quarterback role. Let's really just go macro perspective here. Shanahan talked about the finger injury that Lance suffered in his rookie year and said that really impacted his accuracy or lack thereof just because he wasn't able to grip that football. Maybe that's a reason why Lance's completion percentage was so low, albeit in just a couple of starts. He also said that coming off that ankle injury from last year, he has a much better lower base with some of his mechanics. That too has improved his accuracy, you would think. And the ankle injury, it's coming along, it's healed, and Lance has been able to ramp up his football activities. And there was this report, too, that I was seeing on Twitter. I know Grant Cohn talked about it on his YouTube channel as well. Go subscribe over there, the Cohn Zone. And if it was his report, credit to him. If it's somebody else, credit to you. But there's some chatter, and I've heard this, too, from some people out there, that Trey Lance has looked great this offseason. This is coming from some of his personal trainers, some of his teammates as well, but also some members of this 49ers coaching staff that heading into year 3, he's seizing the moment. And he understands the opportunity at hand here to potentially get all of the reps this offseason with Brock Purdy on the sideline to show this organization, but also to showcase his skills to the other 31 teams in the NFL that he is in fact legit. Here's what Shanahan said about that finger injury, and I do think it makes some sense. I don't think he's just saying this just to protect Lance. He spent a whole year throwing without a bent finger, which changed everything and shows the toughness of the kid, that he never complained about it. He tried to adjust so he could be out there. And I think what he's alluding to here, it does change his mechanics to a certain degree from how he grips the football. But when you mess with the grip on the ball, whether it's the separation of your fingers or the pressure that you're putting on the pigskin from your fingertips, that can lead to accuracy issues, right? And you look at his numbers in the 4 starts of his career up to this point. Obviously, 2 came in that rookie year when the finger injury would have been a problem, but also in year 2 as well. And he started that 4th game against Seattle, but got hurt really early in that game. 55% completion percentage. Of course, that's a little bit of a problem, right? League average is about 65%. Passing yards under 800. 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. Not extraordinarily high production there. He also had to throw in a monsoon in Chicago week 1 in that loss. He's run for 235 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. And for Lance, look, things haven't gone his way early in his career. There have been the injuries. There's been Brock Purdy playing so well, Jimmy Garoppolo beating him out, and it's not just the finger injury, right? He had that knee issue from his first start against Arizona, then the ankle injury. As we project forward, are those injuries going to continue to be a problem? This offseason is massive for Lance, and that's why if he's impressing people right now, that's a good sign. But throughout OTAs coming up, by the way, we'll be covering it, and in training camp, he has to, and I mean has to, rise up to the occasion and play some good football. Otherwise, he might be labeled as a bust. Shanahan on Lance's ankle here. Let's get you caught up on this injury. He was able to get such a better base in these last 2 months that I think Trey is the best that we've seen him right now. Yeah, we got to get into OTAs in practice, but when you watch his feet, his timing, how he's throwing the ball, he's in such a better place now than he was last year at this time. Again, you can take this as coach speak, trying to increase the confidence of a young player, or you can take it as Kyle Shanahan being honest, because we know that he's honest in his evaluation and in what he says about his players, and he's tough on some of these quarterbacks, right? So when you have these injuries, from the ankle injury to the finger injury to the knee issue, sometimes when you're rehabbing that, you can't just go out to the yard and have a normal offseason workout. You're having to rehab that. Then when you do work out and you practice, you're thinking about that injury. It can affect you mentally. It can affect you physically as well and spiritually, which I'm big on because human nature is a thing. Do you want Trey Lance to start week 1? S for start, B for backup. Or would you rather have Brock Purdy or, my goodness, if you say Sam Darnold, don't say Sam Darnold. But if you do, it's America, freedom of speech. Coming up next on the show, Lance versus Purdy, latest from Shanahan. Also, could San Francisco part ways with their former third-round pick in 2021 in Ambry Thomas? First, though, on yesterday's show, we told you about a brand-new sponsor right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report, Bird Dogs. I love their products, their shorts and their pants, the most comfortable that I have as part of my wardrobe. Boom! I'm rocking some more today. Great pants, great shorts today. birddogs.com/chat. Make sure you enter the promo code chat, and upon your first purchase, you get a free Yeti-style tumbler to keep your water cold or your coffee hot or your alcohol feeling good as well. You know what they say? Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, like me at Chat Sports. But what if you're not sure what the day will bring? That's where Bird Dogs comes in. As a viewer of the 49ers Report, you know I value versatility in all aspects of life. And Bird Dog shorts and pants, the perfect example of that. With summer weather upon us, I've been wearing my Bird Dogs on the golf course. I've been wearing them to some of our Chat Sports meetings, on a date with Kira, and just hanging out with friends. With Bird Dogs, you'll be more comfortable, and you'll be loving these shorts more than any other shorts in your wardrobe. Their pants also phenomenal too. And if you're ready to try them out for yourself, we have a great deal for you. Click the link in the description, birddogs.com, promo code chat. And when you enter that promo code, you get a free Yeti-style tumbler. What I also love about these shorts, the gym shorts have a built-in liner, right? So you don't even have to wear any of your boxer briefs or your whitey tighties if that's what you rock. The built-in liner is awesome. Keeps everything compact down there, which is important for me because if I'm out on a run, I don't need everything flopping around, right? And if you're out on a date, you want to be looking good. You can look good with these versatile shorts and pants. Birddogs.com, promo code chat. I have these. I'm rocking the grays right now. Get them for yourself. I promise you, you will not regret it. And the free Yeti-style tumbler, that's awesome as well. So with this 49ers quarterback depth chart, this is how things are shaking out right now. Niners did sign Brandon Allen as QB4. He's not going to make this roster, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Purdy is quarterback number 1. Trey Lance is QB2. Sam Darnold is QB3. I am interested throughout these offseason activities, OTAs, as well as training camp, how often will Trey Lance and Sam Darnold split their reps? Or will all of the reps with the first team go to Trey Lance? I think that's the smart play because you got to be able to figure out what this guy can do. You have a good idea of who Sam Darnold is, but I am interested to see how Kyle Shanahan can maximize Sam Darnold. Here's what Shanny had to say about Lance and Purdy. I understand the unusual circumstances of when you trade up for a quarterback with the 3rd pick in the draft, how you're expecting him to be the man for a long time, and we did expect that. And I still believe that he can be. You're also not expecting the last pick in the draft to come in and play at that level. You know what's wild about Trey Lance? This is crazy. Lance just turned 23 years old just a couple of weeks ago. It's wild. Lance just turned 23 years old. So for anybody out there, given he's only started 4 games, he has minimal experience, to say that he's already a bust, please. This guy still has room to develop, and he has potential to tap into. As for Lance against Purdy from Shanahan, look, I do think that with the way that Brock Purdy played, it's his job to lose. But the dude's coming off a UCL injury on that Tommy John ligament. That is serious. And while the rehab is coming along nicely, you can't rush him back. And if Lance, who really doesn't have a ceiling, whereas Purdy kind of does have a ceiling to a certain degree from an athletic standpoint, starts to ball out in the preseason. Can you move off of the guy that you traded 3 first-round picks for, that you picked at number 3 for Brock Purdy, even though you saw him go 7-0 in his starts last year? Difficult decisions to make for this football team, but as we know, with this organization, there are always massive questions at the quarterback position and massive drama that comes with it. This offseason, OTAs, training camp, the preseason, going to be one of the more fascinating off seasons that the Niners have had in recent memory because of where they are as an organization as a Super Bowl contender, yet the massive question marks and uncertainty at quarterback with Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold in the fold. As for what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Lance and Purdy, his 2 young gunners, then you watch the tape. You just try to see why. Brock Purdy, it was legit. He played at an extremely high level. Our team got a lot better when he got in there. When you talk about what does that say about Trey, I think it's so unfair to Trey. What it does say is that Brock did great in his 8 games, and what Brock did was really damn good. And you look at the numbers for Purdy and how he fared in the regular season as well as in the playoffs. Completion percentage in the regular season, 67 games in those 5 starts, 6 games total. Completion percentage in the playoffs, 65.1. Threw for nearly 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks for Mr. Irrelevant in 6 games. The 4th interception did come in garbage time against the Kansas City Chiefs. So basically, as a starter, because I'm basically going to say that he started that game instead of Garoppolo because he, like Trey Lance, got injured early, 13 tutties, 3 picks. Average yards per completion at 8. And then in the playoffs, I thought that against Seattle, a little bit rocky early, finished strong. And then against the Cowboys, a little bit rocky early in the guts of the game, though, performed really well down the stretch. Who will have a better career as a whole? Doesn't even have to be with this team in San Francisco. TL for Trey Lance, BP for Brock Purdy. Kyle Shanahan, more from him on Lance, and we'll get to Ambry Thomas here. We were ready to go with Trey, and Trey was going to go through a lot last year. And I believe he would have gotten to a level where he did similar stuff to Purdy. He missed that opportunity. Brock came in. He did it. Now, I truly believe Trey can go do that, but Brock's already done it. And that's a very good thing for us to have. We know what we have in Purdy. I truly believe in my heart what Trey can be. It still takes time, and you've got to go do it. In the meantime, we have a guy sitting here who already has done it. That's a very good thing for the Niners. So you have the quarterback with a lot of potential in Trey Lance who hasn't shown it. And then you have Brock Purdy, who has been able to display it to a certain degree. And look, there's that saying out there, when you have 2 quarterbacks, that means you don't have one good one, but you do have 2 at least solid young players, in my opinion, who are on cost-controlled contracts and cost-controlled assets. I do believe that to be a positive, and the weapons offensively are phenomenal. What an offseason it is going to be. And what is a Niners offseason without quarterback drama? That's the reality of this organization. Let's go to Ambry Thomas now. Could San Francisco part ways with the 2021 third-round pick out of Michigan, listed by Bleacher Report as a potential cut candidate? Here's what BR had to say. Third-round selection in 2021. Ambry Thomas has managed 36 tackles in 27 games. The issue shifted from a 5-game starter as a rookie to someone who played 41 defensive snaps last year. He'll be 24 years old only, but San Francisco may move on. You look at his career numbers, right? He has those 36 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 5 pass breakups, 1 interception. He had that clinching interception against Matthew Stafford in Week 18 2 years ago to send the Niners to the playoffs. I do think that Ambry Thomas has ability down the stretch as a rookie. In some big spots, he did play well. He missed that game against the Green Bay Packers, but then in the NFC title game against those aforementioned Rams, I thought that Thomas played solid football. I saw solid instincts. I thought he started to turn the corner right around that Tennessee Titans Thursday night game that Jimmy Garoppolo was awful in. Could be a solid player, but the Niners actually pretty deep, contrary to belief, in that secondary. Has to have a good offseason here and preseason to make the 53-man roster because of that depth. Will he make the squad? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off with what you think down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time here on the show.